Hello, everybody, and welcome to the All-Star Race weekend. Um, First, we're going to be doing the 20-lap All-Star Open. 20 laps of the 22 drivers who are not yet locked into the All-Star race, and whoever finishes top three will be automatically locked into the All Star race, and a fan vote driver will go to the All Star race himself. Hi, I am the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, Levi McIntyre, and I have a special guest commentator with me. This man is well known throughout the entire NR 2003 community. Please welcome to the commentary booth today, Anthony McCurry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Levi. Thanks for having me here. First time ever co-commentating with you, and I can't wait to see what we could see on the Walmart Cup Series All-Star Race Weekend thing that we rolled together with duct tape and called it a race. Yay!
Yep. Now, I originally said this was going to be 10 laps, but because of the lowest amount of laps you can go, which is 20, we're going to do 20 laps for the Open, 40 laps for the actual All Star race itself. So now we're going to be going through the starting grid for the All Star Open. Starting on the pole will be the 33 of Tommy Mooney. Now, this guy comes into the next official points race, which is the Coke 600 here at Charlotte. He comes into this race around. I need to pull up my points here. He comes into that race 35th in the points, so he's going to be in desperate need to get a good momentum streak going. And you never know, All Star Race Weekend could be the starter for a good momentum streak.
It always seems to be a good momentum streak when you go to an All-Star race because if you can get a win at the All-Star race, it seems like the final half of your season is just that much better.
Yep. And starting next to Tommy Mooney will be his teammate Fred Schaefer. Now, this guy has been very, very impressive since he took over for Dylan Poteet in that 31 car after Atlanta. He has gotten himself up to right around 27th in the point standings, and he hasn't ran the whole season, and he's already up to 27th in points. So that shows you how good this guy can be. This is a guy to look out for to possibly get a top three finish to go to the All Star race.
I concur.
Starting third is going to be the 99 of Cody Hagan. Now, Cody Hagan comes into the race, I believe. I need to pull up the points one more time. He comes into the race 22nd in points, so he barely missed the cut of making the All Star race by being a top 20 driver in points, or at least with a win. He came close to making it, but he has an opportunity to get himself in the All Star race by finishing top three in this race.
Indeed.
Starting fourth is the first driver who missed the cut of making the All Star race, Matt McIntyre in that 42 car. He comes into the Coke 600 20th in the points. But let's see how he can do here. And then starting out, finishing the top five, is going to be the 10 of Cameron Bailey. Six is Joshua Michaels. Then it's Trent Dunham, Chris Dollarton, Dylan Thero, Ibrahim, the top 10. Then it's Daniel Day, Henrietta Fitzwater, Nathan Hudson, Ian Siegel, Chris Nelson, Carlos Rodriguez, Kyle Matthews, David Rivera, Henry Nova, Zachary Fitzwater, Chris Michaels, and Rue McIntyre rounds out your field. So that is a look at your starting grid. We are now getting ready to go racing.
Whoop whoop. It's gonna be an awesome race. 20 laps at Charlotte, and the one thing you're gonna have to make sure that you don't do, and I've noticed this in stock car races, but is at this track particularly, is like please don't go three wide in turn four. Just don't. That's a bad thing. Yeah, that's all I have to say on the matter. Just don't go three wide in turn four. We'll be fine.
So, yeah. Alright, well, pace car pulls in the pit road, and now it's going to be Tommy Mooney who's going to take us to the green flag to start off this All Star Open. And here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls.
Green flag out, and Tommy Movie gets the run on the inside. Right behind him is the 99, literally shoving him into the turn one. Uh, that's gonna be a little testy coming out of two, I think. And nope, he's gonna slide up right behind him.
Yeah, he just slid up in front of his teammate Fred Schaefer, and now Cody Hagan trying to make a move to the inside, but couldn't get there quick enough. And it looks like it will be Tommy Mooney who will lead the first lap of the Open.
Indeed, indeed. And so you say the top three drivers are going to get in, so everyone's going to be looking for those crucial top three spots, whether it be win second or first, second, or third. So just because you don't win the race, if you get second or third, that means you can make it in. So I'm just repeating everything that he said, literally, and I sound like an idiot.
And not only that, but also we have the fan vote as well in play. So pretty much four drivers from this race we're running will go to the All-Star race, the top three plus the fan vote. And Tommy Mooney's pulling ahead of everybody right now. He's got a good gap between himself and Cody Hagan.
Must have a pretty good setup on that car for him to pull out like that.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, Tommy Mooney's crew, they have been trying hard to get this guy back in the hunt in for a potential spot for a win and a potential spot in the chase. He started off the season rather well. He was running top 15 in points, and then he's just been on a terrible bad luck streak as of late. Crashed in like the at least three of the last five races. He has just been having terrible luck, but now he's going to have a challenge because here comes his teammate, Fred Schaefer in the 31.
Now, Fred Schaefer, I've been noticing he's kind of like hanging back there. He's almost been able to like get to the bumper as he is now, and it looks like he is going to go for the lead on his teammate. And is the caution out? Was that the yellow?
Let's take a look. No, nobody appears to be
Okay.
out of it. Oh, David Rivera, well, I think he was making a pit stop.
All right. I must be seeing Phantom Yellows. Never mind.
Yeah. And now Fred Schaefer takes the lead, and Tommy Mooney's going to fall back to probably third or fourth, but he's under attack from Matt McIntyre. But so currently, right now, the top three, if they were, it would be Fred Schaefer, Cody Hagan, Tommy Mooney at the moment, and we are now 15 laps to go here in the Open.
Indeed, we still got plenty of racing to go. This is a bit of a, it's not really a sprint race, but it is definitely a shorter race than the All Star race, I assume. So, uh, I don't know if the race was over now, that would be your top three. But obviously, we have coming down the line 14 laps to go, so anything can happen in that span.
Yes, anything can happen. Anything can and will happen.
It is true. We've seen this over the years in other series too, so it's very unpredictable, Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah. And now we see back there a battle for the fourth position between Matt McIntyre and Cameron Bailey. And Cameron Bailey's going to try desperately to get that third spot so he could be in a catbird seat to possibly get into the All Star race. And look at back here, we see Dylan Thero and Trent Dunham battling for, I believe, the sixth position.
Yeah, it'd be sixth, and looks like Trent's gonna get the position away. And now he's just got to run down third place, and then he'll be able to get in too. That's a big name driver. There's a lot of big name drivers in this field. I mean, you got one leading the race, so hey, we could see one of these guys win the race. Very possibly. I think the 31 may be able to stretch it all the way and maybe possibly win the race if the 99 doesn't catch him and pass him first.
Yeah, but the 99's just been steady right there, right behind his back bumper. He's just not been able to get a run on him. And the 31's just doing a good job of just keeping his line going and just keeping it straight. And I saw some heavy braking going on right there. And we're still clean and green, which is good. We haven't had any incidents. However, not sure as to what went down with David Rivera. I'm not sure if he maybe had a battery problem and he had to replace the battery. I'm not sure. Let's see where the six is. He's still running on the lead lap in 22nd place, so
Maybe a flat tire or something.
maybe it could have been a tire issue. But he's still on the lead lap, but let's see how far he is away from the leader. He's
He's about a half a track. Yeah.
yeah, about half the track ahead, so I don't think that Fred will encounter him. But now we are in the halfway point of the Open, and Fred Schaefer's still holding off Cody Hagan, and
You know,
battle
this
for
is. Sorry,
and
go ahead.
and we got a battle for third right now for the final lock-in spot between Matt McIntyre and pole sitter Tommy Mooney.
Indeed, and I like the strategy of the two leaders just run nose to tail because both of them are going to make it in, regardless of who finishes first or second. So don't battle each other too hard, and you'll just scoot away from the rest of the field and have them battle for third place. Is something wrong with Tommy Mooney's car? He seems like he's slowing down.
Uh, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, he did slow down quite a lot. I don't know if it's because he's starting to get a tire problem. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's not been able to keep up to speed with the 42 of Matt McIntyre. So now it would be Matt McIntyre, Cody Hagan, Fred Schaefer as the top three drivers to go into the All Star race at the
And the
moment.
Yeah, and the top three are spread apart too. Now it seems like the 99 is going to back off of the of a Schaefer, and it looks like if they can hold that for the rest of the race, those three would be the transfers. Now that's obviously a variable. We don't know exactly if they can hold it for that long. So
Yeah, we'll see because we're not sure if they have to come down pit road or not. Because now we are 7 laps to go. We don't know how a fuel window will be, especially whenever we get to the All Star race, which is coming up right after this race. So that's why this video is entitled the All Star Race Weekend, because we're doing both the Open and the All Star race. So the All Star race is coming up next. So this will be interesting to see how if there's has to be a fuel window for the All Star race. So we'll see how that's going to come into play. And 6 laps to go here.
let me ask you a question: Is how long is the All Star race going to be as opposed to this race?
It's 40 laps compared to
40
20.
laps. Okay. If they don't have to make a pit stop here, they may need to make one in the All Star race, at least one.
Yeah, at
But
least once, maybe twice, depends. But
uh,
we're going to go through a quick run through of the field as Fred Schaefer still leads away, Cody Hagan second, Matt McIntyre third, so those would be the three drivers at the moment who would go to the All Star race due to the transfers. Then it's Tommy Mooney and Cameron Bailey, the top five. Then it's Trent Dunham, Carlos Rodriguez, Joshua Michaels, Kyle Matthews, and Daniel Day, the top 10. Then you Dylan Thero down there, and then there's the 22 of Ian Siegel, and then there is Nathan Hudson, Ibrahim, Henry Nova, Chris Dollarton, Chris Nelson, Chris Michaels, Henrietta Fitzwater, Zachary Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, and David Rivera, who's back here. And he is still pretty much a half a track ahead, so I don't think that Fred Schaefer is going to counter the 6 car.
and even if he does, he's pretty up to speed, so I don't think it would be that big of a problem.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And now we are 3 laps to go here in the Open.
At this point, I really do think it is Schaefer's race. I mean, it's his race to lose. He's got a. It's not a huge gap, but he does have a gap back to the 99, and then there's a huge gap all the way back to McIntyre. So at this point, I don't think it's going to change much because those three drivers know that if we hold our positions, we'll get into the All Star race. So we're just going to run like this, and we'll get into the All Star race, and then we can go all crazy in the All Star race.
Yes, and now they just passed for 2 laps to go. So it looks to be that it will probably be the 31 to 99 and the 42 going in, as there's a big gap back here between the 33 of Tommy Mooney and the 42 of Matt McIntyre. But now they're coming off of 4. Fred Schaefer going to take the white flag here in the All Star Open.
Indeed, he is. And I've been really impressed with Schaefer. He started second, I believe it was. My
Yes.
memory's not very good because I very rarely woke up not 5 minutes before we started this race. But uh, anywho, So he's gone pretty much from the front. He has gone from front row to victory as he's coming out of turn four down the front stretch for the final time.
It will be
Schaefer.
Fred Schaefer who finishes first, Cody Hagan second, Matt McIntyre third.
Well,
Those will
that
be
was
the three
exciting.
drivers. Yes, those will be the three drivers who will transfer their way into the All-Star race coming up next. But yeah, that was a good race right there. No wrecks, which was surprising, and no pit stops had to take place. But I'm pretty sure with it being 40 laps in the actual All-Star race, they will have to come down pit road at least once, maybe twice if they have to. But nonetheless, congratulations to Fred Schaefer, Cody Hagan, and Matt McIntyre for making the All-Star race.
Woo woo. We'll get to see them in the All Star race, and I can't wait for the All Star race because that's going to be a really exciting race.
Yeah. And while we're waiting for that to all get settled up, we're going to take a look at the official finishing results of the All-Star Open as Fred Schaefer gets the win. This is going to be a good mind booster for the 31 team because this is their first NASCAR Walmart Cup Series related win. Not a points win, but it's certainly a way to get that team some momentum going into the All-Star race as well as the Coke 600, which will be the next race coming out soon. And then Cody Hagan second, he'll make his way into the All-Star race, and same for third with Matt McIntyre. Great job for all three of them. Tommy Mooney will come away fourth, Cameron Bailey fifth, and then it was Carlos Rodriguez, Trent Dunham, Joshua Michaels, Kyle Matthews, and Daniel Day, the top 10. Then it was Ian Siegel, Nathan Hudson, Dylan Thero, Ibrahim, Chris Dollarton, Chris Nelson, Henry Nova, Chris Michaels, Henrietta Fitzwater, Zachary Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre. David Rivera actually was 4 laps down during this race. He must have had a long stay on pit road. Must have been either a transmission problem or a battery problem. But they
Hmm.
somehow kept the car going and finished the race. But never say never for the drivers who finished fourth on back because we still have the fan vote to come. And actually, we're going to be taking a commercial break to check the fan votes to see who will be voted in to the All Star race. But until then, we'll be right back after these messages. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are now getting ready to get going for the 40 lap All Star race, as I still have Anthony McCurry here. And we are going to be going 40 laps for the All Star race. Now, quick announcement the fan vote driver was Chris Michaels. So, Chris Michaels will be entering his first All Star race as the fan vote driver, while the top three who finished top three in the Open, as you saw, Fred Schaefer, Cody Hagan, and Matt McIntyre, made it into the field via top three in the Open. And after that, we had a qualifying session for all the drivers who made it in, and this is what the lineup looks like. Let's take a look at it. Starting on the pole is going to be the 48 of Austin LaPlante. Second is the 17 of Sonny Hammond. Third is our winner from the Open, Fred Schaefer. He might go 2 for 2 today here in the All-Star race. Fourth is our only three-time winner this season, Chris Washer. Rounding out the top five is going to be Jessica Shelton. Then it's Chris Oliver, Charlie Rodriguez, Austin Weiner. Third in the All-Star Open, Matt McIntyre, and Barney Taylor, the top 10. Then it's Eric Burton, Danny Wells, Charles Jackson, Ian Dutta, Michael Norman, Cody Lamas, Nick Smith. Second in the Open, Cody Hagan, Cole Daly, and then Dylan Young rounds out your top 20. Then it's Jordan Culp, Seth Cole, our fan vote winner Chris Michaels, and Noah Hart rounds out your field for the All-Star race. This is double the amount of laps of the Open. It's 40 laps, but we will be seeing at least one pit stop taking place in this race. But here we go.
Exciting.
Pace car rolling, and the drivers are rolling off. So, Anthony, who do you think is your pick to win this race?
So many good drivers, but I'm gonna go with that 31 because, well, he pretty much dominated the Open and he's starting in third. So you know what? I think Schaefer can go two for two.
Interesting. I think my pick is going to be that driver starting next to him, the 24 of Chris Washer, because he has just been a very, very consistent driver in this whole season. But now here they go for the green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls.
And they kind of spread out towards the back, but down into turn one's going to be LaPlante right beside the 17, and Schaefer seems to be pushing him through turns one and two, very much like we saw in the Open. And here comes Schaefer to the inside. Maybe no, not exactly.
Yeah, he's got Jessica Sheldon literally shoving him into that turn. And wait a minute, there's the three wide that you were talking about
Eesh.
coming off of four, and they kept it together.
Whew, good job, guys. You did something that I never could.
And Austin LaPlante's going to pull ahead of everybody while Schaefer's in second
Oh,
there,
three wide out of two.
and they keep it together. Man, Sonny Hammond's just dropping like a rock, it seems. That's because he got caught up on the high line. And there you see Chris Washer, who's up there, is in the high line as well.
It's a bad place to be on the high line in this track. There's really no run up there. There unless you get a really good run out of two. There's just no grip up there. So I don't know why these drivers are running up there. Well, obviously they got forced up there, but they need to get down to the inside fast if they want to make up any ground on the leaders.
Yeah. And now Fred Schaefer gets in line behind the 48 of Austin LaPlante. He's been able to catch up to him. Let's see if he can get a run to the inside and get around the 48.
Yeah, but
Well,
oh, never
here
mind.
comes Jessica Sheldon, but she couldn't get there fast enough.
Good move by Jessica Shelton to see that she wasn't able to make it in
Oh,
turns one
oh,
and
now
backed out
she's
of it.
coming back into it.
And now she's going to try and make the pass in turns three. Nope,
Nope.
she still couldn't do it. But very smart move by Shelton. She knew she couldn't get it in turn one, so she backed off and tried to do it in turn three, but still couldn't do it. And now here comes Schaefer to the lead, and he is going to be alongside of LaPlante going into one, and he comes through, and he looks like he's going to be the leader out of two.
Yeah, great job for Fred Schaefer. Man, how big would this be for him as a confidence booster for him going into the 600, which will be coming soon? That he not only would win the Open, but win the All Star race as well, and he could be a guy to look out for in the 600 when we get to the 600 next time.
Indeed. There's a lot of wow, I just lost my train of thought. Wow.
Well,
Okay, this is
let's
awkward.
do a quick run through of the field as they run right now. As Fred Schaefer leads, Austin LaPlante second, Jessica Shelton third, our winner from the Daytona 500, Charlie Rodriguez, and then Chris Washer rounds out your top five. Then it's Austin Weiner, Matt McIntyre's picking his way up one by one, Michael Norman, Charles Jackson, and Eric Burden your top 10. Then it's Nick Smith, Cole Daly, Dylan Young, Sonny Hammond's falling back to the 13th spot. Chris Oliver, Danny Wells, Ian Dutta, Barney Taylor, Cody Lamas, and Seth Cole, the top 20. Cody Hagan in 21st, Noah Hart, Jordan Culp, and the fan vote driver, Chris Michaels, running in last right now, but no caution. And Austin LaPlante took the lead back.
Wow, this is a good battle for the top spot.
Yeah,
I,
between Schaefer and LaPlante.
I'm really liking the racing we've been able to see out of these two races so far. It's been very hard. They've been racing each other really hard, but they're not running into each other. They're keeping it very clean. As here comes Shelton right behind of Schaefer. Now these two, oh, there goes Shelton. I think she's going to be able to do it this time if she's got Washer pushing her down the front stretch.
Yeah, that's and Washer. Keep an eye out on him, and I think Schaefer might fall back to fourth because Washer's right there too. And now he's going to try to go to the inside of Shelton to go for second, but no, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get to her in time.
Yeah, she had too big of a run going down the backstretch into three, but inside is Washer on Schaefer. Now Washer is trying to pass Schaefer down the front stretch. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it into turn one. He may be able to do it. No,
Nope.
he didn't. That's
LB
something
got back
interesting. I've
in.
never seen that happen.
Yeah, he goes back right behind him, and now he's going to go to the inside once again.
You guys are racing like it's the last few laps, but it's only lap 10 of 40, guys. Gotta save your hardware.
Yeah, and try to. If it goes into a green flag pit stop, and now here comes Jessica Sheldon to the inside of LaPlante.
Sheldon's laying him down and picking him up. Whatever the analogy is. Wow. Uh,
Yeah,
yes. Anyway, Jessica Shelton goes to the inside and gonna take the lead off of LaPlante.
yep.
Very, very smooth. Uh, well, never mind. I thought it was a smooth pass, but hasn't cleared him yet. Now it's cleared him, so no,
No,
still
not
hasn't cleared him.
quite. It's like LaPlante somehow getting that outside line to work, but now here comes Schaefer back down to the bottom, right behind Sheldon. Now it looks like Sheldon will finally get LaPlante cleared.
And now it's a five-car fight for the top spot because here comes the 18 back there.
Yeah, Charlie Rodriguez, our winner from the Daytona 500, running back here in fifth.
And that's a teammate to Jessica Sheldon. So we got Henrik and we got Joe Gibbs, and the only one that's in there without a teammate is
The 31 of
31. Yeah, the
Childress.
30.
Yeah, but the closest one for a teammate for Schaefer is back here battling with Charles Jackson, Austin Weiner, Michael Norman.
And speaking of Henrik cars, there's another Henrik car pulling up behind the 18, and that's the 5 of.
Austin Weiner, he's coming in. Our winner from Coca-Cola is running up here. He was luckily able to keep his car in the top 15 as well as got that win at Coca-Cola in order for him to make this All-Star race.
Yeah, great ride by the 5 tonight, and he's obviously had a pretty good season so far, so definitely going to be a big momentum boost for the second half of the season if he can get a win here and then be able to get it into the chase.
Yeah, well, at the moment, if the chase were to start right now, then yes, Austin Weiner would be in the chase. But I think as long as drivers can get a win and keep their car running in the top 15, then they should be able to make the chase. But you see, it's like
Hmm.
with drivers like Chris Dollerton, who were running very well in points earlier in the season, but have fallen back. Unless he can get a win, I don't see him making a comeback into the chase anytime soon. As we check up here, Jessica Sheldon still leads, and Chris Washer goes to second.
Yeah, it looks like the Shelton's been able to find that groove that no one can catch her as of right now, and maybe they're just saving their stuff so they don't have to fight for it until they get the first pit stop out of the way, and then after that they can go all balls to the walls as much as they want.
Yeah, and they're coming off a 2, and we see a battle for fifth back here between Austin Weiner and Charlie Rodriguez.
And it looks that it's Henrik underneath Joe Gibbs, and if a Weiner can get up there, then he'll have two teammates to work with, and cut Charlie Rodriguez off of his teammate.
Yeah, and actually, and there's another Hendrick car lurking his way back there in the 10th spot. Cole Daly, our winner from, I believe, Atlanta. Yes, it was Atlanta. He's lurking back here behind this pack. So all four Hendrick cars running inside the top 10 right now.
Dem Henrik cars, man. Dem
Yeah, and
Henrik
also
cars.
each of them have a win this year, so they're the winningest team at the moment. And not only that, but they have a Hendrick driver leading the points, and that's Chris Washer.
Indeed, they do. And if Washer can get this win, hey, that would be a huge momentum boost, and he may be able to run away with the points. And speaking of Washer, he's catching up to Shelton.
Yep, so we got Bow for the lead starting to rage on a little bit. And then back here, we've got Michael Norman trying to run down the 5 of Austin Weiner to try to get the 5th spot, so that way Fred Schaefer can get some help. But here comes the 16 of Charles Jackson up there.
Man, he got a whale of a run out of 4.
Yeah, but now
As
he's
that
going to lose that run due to him being caught up on the high line. And then look back here at Cole Daly running right here in the 9th spot last time they showed. And then look at this, Matt McIntyre, who was third in the Open. He's in the top 10 right now.
Mm-hmm. And McIntyre.
Oh, wait a
Oh,
minute, Austin
whoa.
LaPlante, we got our first pit stop happening.
Oh, never mind. Train of thought got cut off by the pitting Austin LaPlante. So he was eighth on the track at the time he went down pit road. So and it looks like he's all by himself.
Yeah, he's the only one coming down pit road, which will have to mean that drivers will have to come down at some point within the next 2 or 3 laps.
Now, with Austin pitting on lap 20 and there being 40 laps, he will have to do some saving if he wants to make it all the way to the end.
Yes, he will have to. And it looks like he's going with a 4 tire pit stop with fuel, so that way he can have some fresh rubber on the track. But let's see if anybody else, and everybody else almost is on pit road, except for the two of Dylan Young. He's on track as the leader, but everybody else is on pit road. Austin LaPlante gets out. And there you see Charles Jackson coming down, Barney Taylor, and I'm trying to get to the 11. There's the 11, Jessica Shelton.
Did she only take 2 tires?
I don't know. I think her pit stall might be up ahead. No, it looked like she probably went with all fours.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot that on the revamp tracks, the pit order is actual Sprint Cup pit order. So just because you qualified pole doesn't mean your pit stall is at the front of the pit road.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
Jessica
keep
Sheldon,
forgetting that.
but Jessica Sheldon pulls out ahead. But there's Austin LaPlante back there. He's gonna try to run down the 11 to try to get his lap back. But we'll see if he can catch up to her in time, which I don't think he will. I think he got caught a lap down.
Yeah, Sheldon, as of right now, has got a ginormous lead now.
Well, actually, she's being scored second. Who's the leader? Trying
Was
to,
it still Dylan Young?
I'm trying to look. It was Dylan Young, but now he's just coming off a pit road. So I believe the lead will cycle around back to the 11.
All right, that makes sense. As Shelton comes around, and it looks like that she will be the new leader.
Yep.
Yes. All right.
So after the pit stop happened, they've cycled around Jessica Sheldon as the leader. Now, Austin LaPlante pitted first on lap 19 or 20. I think it was 20. He pitted on lap 20. So with an extra lap, he will have to save a little bit of gas. But everybody else, I think, are going to be barely good to go for the rest of the way. Unless caution comes out, then they would come down pit road to top off. Which I have
Yeah.
been surprised we have not had a caution this whole entire All-Star race weekend whatsoever.
Well, they've been keeping it very clean, and I've noticed that they're racing each other really hard, but they're not really making much contact with them. And they did go 3 wide a couple of times, but they were able to settle it out. So I guess they got that mentality that we're gonna race hard, but let's not decide to make it a wreck fest.
Yeah, as we are now on lap 25, so run through the field as we are. Jessica Sheldon leads, Chris Washer second, Michael Norman third, Austin LaPlante fourth, Fred Schaefer fifth, and then it's Charlie Rodriguez sixth, Cole Daly seventh, Matt McIntyre eighth, Charles Jackson ninth, Austin Weiner rounds out the top 10. Then it's Nick Smith, Eric Burden, Sonny Hammond, Ian Dutta, Danny Wells, Chris Oliver, Cody Lamas, Seth Cole, Dylan Young, Barney Taylor to top 20. Then it's Chris Michaels, our fan vote winner, Jordan Culp, Noah Hart, and Cody Hagan.
And then back to Shelton now. How far ahead is Hagen away from Shelton?
Hagan's just now coming off of turn 4, and Sheldon's in between 3 and 4 right now.
I don't think she'll catch Hagen, but in the event that she does, then that's gonna cause the second and third place drivers to catch up because
And
they'll be battling side by side. And I think they're already starting to catch up because they got a bit of a train going on back there.
yeah, let's see. There's Washer, and now here comes Norman to the inside to try to get second, but Washer just has that good run up on the high line. It's what I've kind of noticed. It's like the inside doesn't necessarily always work for these drivers. Some people are actually able to keep that high line fast and going and keep their spots, it seems.
When you're battling side by side on the inside line, you can't really let the car float up the track because you're gonna run into the guy up on the high side of you. As the guy on the high line, he can let the car float up the track a little bit, and he can maintain his speed throughout the turn without hitting anything unless he gets too close to the wall and grabs the wall. But because of that, the inside line, you can't really get that run off the turn because you can wash up the track and run right into the guy up on your high side, as opposed to the guy on the high side who can let the car run up the track and be just fine. So, that's kind of the way it is, and I think that's why we're seeing all these big runs off of turns 2 and 4 because they just can't get the inside line, just can't get. It's Shelton is under fire now from the 24 of Washer.
Yeah, you were right. They did catch up to her pretty fast, and now Washer is getting a big run on the 11. We'll see if he can try to make a pass on Sheldon for the lead.
I
And
would
Washer,
imagine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, and Washer, like I said before, he's the only three-time winner this season. He won back at Las Vegas, he won back at Martinsville, and he picked up the win most recently at Darlington, which was the last race yesterday. So Washer is on a huge momentum streak. Well, however, he's had a couple of bad runs, including dead last back at, I believe, Atlanta. But that didn't matter much because he's the points leader. But now here he is, and now Michael Norman is back here making it a three-car battle for the lead.
Now, Michael Norman and Jessica Shelton are friends, so are they going to play nice or is something going to get heated?
We'll see as Norman's going to go to the inside of Washer, and I think he is going to clear him.
Nope.
Not quite.
That'd be an outside quarter panel, and now he's going to get the run in, I think.
Let's see. Yep, I believe he might be able to clear him, and he will.
All right,
And
so
now
move the
Austin LaPlante's coming in his way into the picture as we are now 8 laps to go. And
move
then
the three
Fred
car to the
Schaefer.
lead.
Yeah, then Fred Schaefer is lurking his way. And yes, Michael Norman now going to the lead over Jessica Sheldon.
And he got it. Wow, he got it pretty easily too.
Yeah. And Michael Norman has been a guy who's been trying to step it up the last few weeks. He's been up and started near the front of the field every single week, and he's been a dominant car a couple times. I mean, hell, he was the dominant car in Atlanta, or I mean, Darlington led over half the race but didn't get the win. And then he was the dominant car of Coca-Cola, but because of him getting caught up on the high line, it forced him to finish. I believe he finished fourth at Coca-Cola, and Austin Weiner ended up with the win. But now here comes Jessica Sheldon back to the inside to try to get the lead back. And when they
See
come
if
around, it will be 6 laps to go.
and she couldn't get that run off of the bottom. That's exactly what we mentioned. You can't get that run off the bottom of the racetracks in a 2 and 4 because it'll wash up the track into the guy on the outside.
So, yeah. So while we're up here, we're going to do a quick run through the field as they stand now. Michael Norman leads, Jessica Sheldon second, Chris Washer third, Austin LaPlante fourth, and our open winner Fred Schaefer runs fifth. Then it's Charlie Rodriguez, Cole Daly, Charles Jackson, Austin Weiner, Nick Smith, the top 10. Then it's Matt McIntyre, Ian Dutta, Eric Burden, Danny Wells, Sonny Hammond, Cody Lamas, Chris Oliver, Dylan Young, Barney Taylor, Seth Cole, the top 20. Then it's Chris Michaels, Noah Hart, Jordan Kolb, and Cody Hagan, who's still not too far ahead of Michael Norman, but I don't think they're going to counter them as they are now coming to the stripe for 4 laps to go here in the All-Star race.
Now keep an eye on that 48 because he pitted on that crucial window. It's not guaranteed that he's got enough gas to make it to the end.
So, yeah. And who knows, maybe with how much faster these cars are running, maybe these guys may not be able to make it. But we'll see. This is going to be an interesting finish if anybody has to come down pit road within the next couple of laps,
It's
it's
a fuel
gonna.
mileage race now.
Yeah, it is pretty much a fuel mileage race. And now Jessica Sheldon's under fire from Austin LaPlante. Now here comes Chris Washer to try to get the lead back.
Oh, he got the inside to work pretty well. He's got alongside of the three coming out of two. It looks like he had a bit of a run, although Norman is still on the outside. But I think going into three, that Washer's going to have the position going to 2 laps to go. This would be his fourth win of the season, even though this isn't a points race. It's still a fourth win of the season, and no, Norman gets the run out of four.
So, yeah, and now 2 laps to go. Oh man, we have got to keep an eye out on if anybody has to come down pit road around this time.
Watch that 48 car. He is on the bubble.
Yeah, he is because he pitted like at the end of lap 19, entering lap 20, and then he made his pit stop on lap 20 eventually. Let's keep an eye out. Oh, he's not coming down this time. But we
And
are on the white
looking good.
flag lap now. White flag is out for Michael Norman.
Does Washer have anything for the three car?
Well, let's keep an eye out up here on the 24. I don't know. He's about 1.5, 2 car lengths behind. I don't know. He's going to have to, like, dive bomb that turn if he's going to be able to get to Michael Norman. And he's trying.
He's gonna have to Carl Edwards it if he wants to win, and I don't think he's gonna have enough time though.
Nope, and it looks like it's going to be Michael Norman who's going to win the All-Star race at Charlotte.
Wow, what a run to the finish.
Yeah, and Austin LaPlante managed to make it on fuel.
And as you go to the car and you hear him sputtering down the backstretch.
He probably might. He probably might. We'll see. But man, great job for Michael Norman. This guy, ever since changing his paint scheme, he has just been on fire as of late, despite not being able to get the finishes he was hoping for. But this will be a good confidence booster for him going into the Coke 600.
Yes, it is. Big confidence boost indeed for the three car, the whole team that's involved with the three car as well as Richard Childress cars.
Yeah, because so far right now, the cars I'd say to keep an eye out from Childress are the 3 and the 31, and even the 29, despite the 29 having an inconsistent season, and the 33 has just been on a huge downward spiral, and the 27's starting to get some confidence going. But now we're going to take a look at our official finishing results of the All-Star race. Michael Norman, congratulations on winning the All-Star race. This will pretty much lock him into next season's All-Star race, as well as future All-Star races to come. As he won this one, he'll be in the All-Star race for the next 10 seasons. Then it's Chris Washer who came in second. He was trying hard to run down the 3 car, and he almost did, but it wasn't enough. I'd say if there was one more lap, he probably could have been able to run him down, but just wasn't enough time. But he still comes away with second. Great run for him. Austin LaPlante, who was the first car to pit, he kept his fuel under control, and he comes away with a third-place finish.
That's a testament to how he was able to save his fuel throughout the last run because they were running really hard and it wasn't exactly sure if he was going to make it on fuel or not, but he obviously proved he could and he did.
Yes, he did. Jessica Sheldon, who led for a while, will come fourth, and then the finish out the top 5 is Charlie Rodriguez. Great job for him. Fred Schaefer, though, while he didn't get to the lead very long, he did lead for a bit. But even though he didn't win, he still comes away with a 6th-place finish. Great job for the All-Star Open winner. Cole Daly 7th, and then Charles Jackson 8th, Austin Weiner 9th, and look, all 4 Hinder cars finished top 10, and then it was Nick Smith in 10th, and all 3 Gibbs cars finished in the top 10.
Pretty good team battle going on in the top 10.
Yep. And then Matt McIntyre, who finished 3rd in the Open, will come away with 11th. Then it was Ian Dutta, Danny Wells, Eric Burden, Sonny Hammond, who just could not recover from being stuck up on the high line at the very beginning of the race, who started 2nd. He just wasn't able to get a good car going. He's going to come away with 15th. Then it was Cody Lamas, Chris Oliver, Barney Taylor, Dylan Young, Seth Cole, Chris Michaels, Noah Hart, Jordan Culp, and Cody Hagan. And Cody Hagan barely finished the race on the lead lap. But no cautions happened during this entire race weekend, which is absolutely impressive by all these drivers that they were able to not cause any incidents, and really no rivalries are going to brew out from this, which is good.
Mm.
But
Always nice to hear that nothing's going to catastrophically happen.
yeah, but thank you guys for checking out the All-Star race. This was a fun non-points race, and I also want to thank Mr. Anthony McCurry for joining me on commentary for this.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
Yes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the All-Star race, our second of 3 non-points races. Our next non-points race will come the race before the season finale at Zen Joltis. It will be the Demolition Derby at Bristol, and that's going to be very, very intense.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, but until the Coke 600, this is Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, saying so long, everybody.